Hello and welcome to this week's edition of CTN Community Update. The City Council met in a work session this week to discuss the City Manager's proposed 2020 budget. The proposed property tax levy for next year is just over $29.5 million, which is a 4.63% increase from this year's levy. The 2020 budget includes 2 new police officers and 1 firefighter to help with increased call volumes. $1 million is included for the replacement of the roof of the city center and $750,000 to replace Fire Engine 1. There's also money set aside for street reconstruction, seal coating, and park improvements. The City Council will set the preliminary tax levy next month. It can't be raised, but can be lowered before final adoption in December. Filings closed this week for several open Anoka-Hennepin school board seats that represent portions of Coon Rapids. In District 1, School Board Chair Tom Heidemann is being challenged by Aaron Heers McArdle. In District 2, Marcy Anderson is running unopposed. And in District 5, Nicole Hayes will face Ethan Yang. The election will take place on Tuesday, November 5th. A large field of candidates for a special election to replace now County Administrator Rhonda Sivaraja on the Anoka County Board. 6 candidates have filed for the District 6 seat: Cindy Hansen, Craig Johnson, Karen Lodico, Donovan McGuire, Jeff Reinert, and Kevin Ryan. The list will be narrowed to 2 candidates on November 5th. The top 2 vote getters will square off in a special election on February 11th. Every year, on the anniversary of the end of World War II, wounded veterans are invited to a day of fishing in Ramsey. The free event at Veterans Lake provides a place to relax and socialize. CTN's Dan Carpenter shows us why it means so much for those who attend.
On the shallow waters of a man-made lake in Ramsey, a select group of men and women
My first goal is not to fall in the water.
practice patience.
This is like waiting for the check from Publishers Clearinghouse.
And like any other day of fishing on any other lake in Minnesota, this is when stories from times past carry across the water with the summer breeze.
I spent about 15 months in Korea, and I got mixed in some combat.
Russell Anderson, a disabled veteran, reflects on his time on the front line.
And I think what happened, they found out I was there because they stopped fighting. 29th of July, 1953. You don't forget that.
Once a year in August,
There's a nibble.
on the anniversary of VJ Day, the end of World War II,
There we go, kids.
A fine young brim.
new memories are made.
Do you think $10 an hour is too much to charge for lessons?
Randy Faulkner served his country in the Marines, the National Guard, and Army.
I think you found a good spot.
For the last 15 years, he's been in a wheelchair.
I don't think you're overstating it by saying they're lifesavers.
Those making this day at the lake possible are civilians, veterans, and many volunteers.
We have a lot of people come out here with problems. We help them along.
In 2007, landowner John Enstrom dedicated a memorial at this lake to those killed in the war on terrorism. 5 years ago, he and his wife Bonnie decided veterans with us today need more attention.
And now they're all coming together, and they're all swapping their stories and telling their lies and just having a great time.
Adding to the fun,
We have sweet corn,
a feast that could probably feed an army.
a 250-pound hog. We're all out having fun, enjoying ourselves, helping out.
A place for those still fighting internal battles
Copy.
to find a day of peace.
Just absolutely great.
Dan Carpenter for CTN Update.
A healing garden was dedicated at this year's event. 74 wounded veterans were able to go fishing at Veterans Lake. Dozens of local teens spent part of their summer break volunteering at libraries throughout Anoka County. It's all part of the Volunteen program put on by the Anoka County Library. The teens work a 2-hour shift once a week, putting away library books, filling requests for materials, and getting involved in special projects. The library system recently won 2 awards for the program.
I like being surrounded by books, if that makes any sense. Just like being here and helping out, and also something to do over the summer because sometimes I get bored.
Volunteers need to be in 7th to 12th grade to take part. It's a great way for the teens to learn job skills. You can learn more about the program on this month's episode of The Mix right here on CTN. Local youth will be showcasing their artwork in a special show coming up next weekend. The Anoka County Youth Art Fair will take place Sunday, August 25th from 1 to 4 p.m. at the Riverwind Community Building on Northdale Boulevard. Admission is free. Young artists will be showing off and selling their paintings, drawings, and other creations. This is the first time the art show is being held, but organizers hope to make it an annual event. It's being presented by Transformative Circle, a nonprofit group that celebrates diversity in the community. All right, before we go, we want to give a shout out to the Coon Rapids Andover American Little League 12-year-old All-Stars who are playing in the Little League World Series. They were supposed to play their first game Thursday night, but it got rained out, so they are playing as we speak, and they will play again either Saturday or Sunday. This is the first Minnesota team in the Little League World Series since 2010, so we're wishing them all the best out there. That's going to do it for us today. Thanks for watching, and have a great weekend.